Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. So, can anybody tell which of the reasons or where we stopped in previous class? Anybody remembers? Which was the topic we discussed and stopped in the previous class of consciousness? Hare Krishna. Birthmarks, very good. Somebody remembers. Okay, birthmarks. Okay, mute yourselves. Okay, so I don't know if you can see the screen or not. Let me just check. Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Is my voice correct?
Hare Krishna Mataji, yes, your voice is correct.
But screen is
Not visible.
Yeah. Something is missing. Okay, anyways, yes. So we were discussing, I'll share the screen in a minute. So, yes, 1 second. Okay. So anyways, we were discussing about birthmarks. What were the other topics we discussed? Till then the screen will come up, I hope. Yeah, what were the different topics we were discussing in this consciousness? You can unmute and reply. Hare Krishna, you can unmute. One was, yes, reincarnations, very good. Dreaming, very good. Other things? What was the Yes, Praveen Prabhu?
4 states of
Dreaming,
consciousness.
Mataji.
Dreaming, yes, 4 stages of consciousness, very good. What were the 4 stages of consciousness? In English terms, you can tell, Mataji, if you remember.
Awakening, waking stage.
Yes.
Waking stage, dreaming stage.
Deep sleep.
Deep sleep and Turiya.
Yes, and the self-realized way.
Self-realized. Yes.
Yes. So these are the 4 stages. And apart from that, we discussed about Avi chemicals, and we used here the term intuitive understanding. That's my hand, my leg, and all of that. Remember? So these were discussed. And Shanti Devi's video, I think I had posted in the group. I hope you have gone through it.
Yes.
So yes, so many about birthmarks we discussed, right? And how reincarnation, how are they finding out? What were the different types of they go through to understand the reincarnation? First is their past life stories, then the behavior, even their behavior counts in it. How they behave. Sometimes you see small children, they start behaving like an old lady or something like that. Not for a drama, but in real sense. So we have seen that in Shanti Devi's case. So this was the thing. And after that, and Stevenson, he says that 4 types, that is recollection, recognition, behavior, and birthmarks. These are the 4 things. And after that, he has also written a book on it, about something like 2000 cases he had found out about the reincarnations. And it's the most important or the most wonderful thing is the reincarnation among all of this thing, because these are the cases, some of the cases that have been found by the science themselves. So yes. So the next one is, even though we are trying to be happy in this world, we are trying to so many things to enjoy our life, there's something which is missing. We are not fully satisfied. Is anybody fully satisfied with their life? Is anybody fully satisfied in their life? Very
No,
much
Mataji.
satisfied. No. What is that is missing?
The happiness
Every-
is temporary. Sometimes it's
Mhm.
fluctuating with sadness and happiness. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
See, somebody has this big house, big car, big bungalow, badi gaadi, badi ghar, bada shahar, so many things. They are like dream city or something like that, they say. So that's a kind of happiness they feel that they are getting by having so many things in opulent. If I have a good wife, I'll be happy. If I have a servants, I'll be happy. If I have so many things, they feel happy among themselves. But at the end of the day, when they are going to sleep, they have so many anxieties in their head. If you have a big car, you know in that car there should be a partner with you, and long drive. We are going in a hilly station, so fantasy. Today's cinema, they show these things, so kind of a fantasy. Everybody in this world are living in a fantasy world. They are thinking they are so happy, but they don't see others, that thing. They can't see that. They themselves are starving. They themselves are feeling there's something lack, but they are like, I'm so happy, I have this, that. But at the end of the day, uh, the science is advanced, as I said, from road to bullock carts to cycles to motorcycles to cars to swift cars, that car, this car, now electronic vehicles, so many things, 4G, 5G, 6G, 10G, they are bringing very good, nice. But then, does it make any change in your life? Does it make any change? No change at all. You're again and again taking birth, again and again, you're near to the death. Again and again you have to visit your doctor. Now it has become more, more visits to the doctor. Before it was less, now we are going constantly towards doctor, weekly, once, twice we are going. So in spite of all this advancement, men are dissatisfied, full of anxiety, stressed and depressed, and all above that's unhappy. No, Prabhupada was like, what advancement did the science do? What advancement did they do? Did they ever change the direction of sunrise from east to west? Oh, before science, before 500 or 100 years, the sun was in the east side. Now it is in the west. Hare Krishna. Anybody wants to speak, you can unmute. Those who are not speaking, you can mute yourselves. Okay. Praveen Prabhuji, I'll make you the co-host. Please maintain. Okay. Okay. So yes. So this was the thing that although somebody in this room was creating disturbance. Okay. So change of the body, right? This is the main thing. So Prabhupada was like, so many things happened past this centuries or 2 centuries behind, 200 years back. So many revolution, they are shouting, but they could not even change the direction of sunrise to east to west. They could not even change the color of a grass. They could not do that because it is not sanctioned by the Lord. Because they are atheist, they can't be happy. The happiness is only in Krishna consciousness. That they don't know, right? So this is the thing. And the next is about consciousness. As I told, we are Sachid Ananda Swarupa. Ananda, right? Happiness is included when you realize you're a soul, right? First is, what are the five, first is Annamaya, Jnanamaya, Annamaya, then comes Pranamaya, Jnanamaya, Vijnanamaya, and then what is it? What is the last one? Anybody remembers?
Anandamaya.
Yes, Anandamaya, right? The souls, when you come to know realize yourself, the self-realization happens, you are in Anandamaya. When you realize who you are, you will automatically realize who is Krishna. When you realize Krishna, you will automatically realize who you are. So it goes hand in hand. When you are in that position, after Vijnanamaya, there comes real Anandamaya, Anandamayo Bhyasat. The living entity is always happy. But then they are behind so many things, they are only behind body. How I can make my body happy, but they are not seeing the inside. There is a soul and it is not happy. Whatever you try, um, when there is a physical thing, hurt, you fall somewhere and you get hurt, it's very easily covered. You get medicines and you put some medicines, it will hurt for you sometime. After that, it will start recovering itself. It takes little time. When compared to the mental hurt, you get mentally hurt by somebody, your heart is hurt, somebody hurt you mentally, or uh, your mind is broken, your heart is broken. What happens? It takes lots of time. Sometimes it's very difficult. A person's heart who is weak and who's mentally weak, it takes lot of time. There will be a suicide case, so many depression and all of that. That means mentally we are weak. So body can be very easily recovered compared to mind. And what about the soul? Your soul is hurt, it's sleeping, it's in unconscious position right now, because it's not in Krishna consciousness, it is unconscious. So it takes lot of time, right? Krishna says it takes many births, right? Many births it takes to understand Krishna. So physical stress, physical hurt is fine. Mental hurt, it takes lot of time. And compared to mental hurt, the unconsciousness of the soul, that means a dormant Krishna consciousness, takes lot and lot of time. So to reach till there, it's not easy. It's not easy to reach till there. That's why we should know we are the souls. First realization you come to Krishna consciousness is, first is you have to realize that you are a soul, but it takes lot of time. Leave Krishna consciousness, leave touching a lotus feet of Krishna. First you realize you're a soul. We can't even realize that much. Where bhakti, where devotional service, where pure devotional service, what is Paramahamsa for us? It's unimaginary for us, because we can't realize that we are a soul. We are so attached to this body. We are so attached. We can't even realize. We can't leave that false ego. We can't leave. So we're so much attached. Leave about devotional service. So, but as Prabhupada says, there is hope against hope. One day I'll get that pure love of Krishna. That hope should be there. That does not mean, oh, I can never realize myself. That means I can't. No, that should not come. A devotee is always enthusiastic. So you should be enthusiastic in devotional service. At the same time, you should realize where is your position right now. I am a conditioned soul. That you should realize. But at the same time, you should also know that this conditioned soul can get Krishna Prema one day by Guru and Gauranga's mercy. So even that you should know, but you should also know your current position. We should not become like Sahajiyas. oh, now I'm in Krishna consciousness, I know everything. Normally it happens when you come in Krishna consciousness for 2 years. Now already we are in 2 years, so we are neophytes. So 1 year, 2 years, 6 months, or one course of Gita, we feel, oh, we are Paramahamsas, but we are not. We are not. It takes lot of time. So this stress, anxiety, depression is even for a neophyte devotee. So why? Because we have not realized we are souls. That's the main thing. So it takes a lot of time, but it should be patient, and we should chant every day, so that Krishna gives us this realization. Okay, the next is the change of the body. That is, this is the main thing. As I told, right, the soul, the symptom of soul is consciousness. So consciousness, first symptom we can see about consciousness is it grows, right? We discussed this in the previous class. It grows. We gave the example of a plant and so many things, right? The plant, how do we know the plant has souls in it? It grows, it gives you fruits, it gives you flowers. That means there is a soul in it. It gives you so many things. Similarly, the body also reproduce. The body also grows from young to old to, it dies, and then it goes to another body. So similarly, when Krishna says, right, like your cloth is changed, similarly the soul changes its body. From a small young age to the old age, we our body completely changes, right? For example, there is a relative in America and you are in Mumbai or in India, and he has not seen you for 15 years or 10 years, and he suddenly comes when you were just 5 years. He saw you, and after that now you are 20 years or 25 years, he came back from America and he's seeing you. What is the first comment he says? Relatives, you're so changed. They say you're so changed. But what changed? I'm same myself. No, I'm Shrilaxmi. Even 5 years before I was the same girl. Now also I'm the same girl. Who is that girl? Basically you're a soul. The soul never changes. Only the body changes. Body, when you were a small child, it was different. Now you are different. You have so many things in your body, and we reproduce, we grow, we stay for some time, and then ultimately we become old and we die. So this is the fact of this material world. This is the naked truth of this material world, that we take birth, there is old age, and there is death, and there is disease in between. So this is the truth of this world. So the scientists, they could not change. They change the death coming to them? They might delay it. They might delay it. You go to a hospital, death was coming today. I had some severe disease, but I went to a doctor and he delayed my death. Basically, the treatments today we get in hospitals, it's just to delay your death. Death is certain. Everybody knows death is certain. But then it's just the medical process. Today, science, it only knows to delay the death. But Yamraj will see you one day face to face. But so that's true. But they could not stop death coming. So that's the symptom of a soul. And why death comes? Prabhu was telling in one of the Bhagavatam class, devotee is neither bewildered by death. He accepts death as well. Even though death is coming, for a materialistic person, death means something, sorrow and everything. For a devotee, for a devotee, it's a wish of Krishna. It's the will of Krishna. It's a sweet will of Krishna. He accepts even death. Oh, Krishna, you think this body is now no more for used for me? Okay, I'll leave this body. Whatever you tell, I'll go to next body, whichever body you give. So that's a devotee. But just introspect. Are you in that stage? We are not. We are not in that stage that I'll accept death so easily. So we should grow to that stage by chanting, by doing devotional service, by doing regular sadhana and everything. Then we can get to that stage where we accept death as well, where we accept death. So that's very difficult stage to accept death. That's why medical science is behind delaying the death. They don't want death to see. But a devotee, he knows the naked truth of this material world, right? It's infinity. There are so many living entities regularly coming to this material world, and there are so many living entities going back. So going to one planet to another planet to another universe. So there are millions. So this is how from the childhood to the youthhood to the old age, and then it changes the body of this world and then goes to another body. So, but then we are souls. I'm not telling this whimsically. I showed you the here in the PPT. It is showed first is the understanding, the basic understanding in by which you can understand you're a soul. Basic understanding, right? I grow, I have a symptom, I'm living, I'm different from a dead body. If I'm sleeping and there is a dead body beside me, there's a lot of difference between me and a dead body. That's common sense, or just use your brain, you can come to know. So we just use till now the basic things by our naked eyes we can see there is a soul. I need not know, I did not want any great rocket science to understand a soul. I can just see and understand, there's something difference between me and a dead body or just matter. There's so much difference, and there is so much thing beyond our mental things, so many things are there. We dealt with mind also, why we are depressed, anxiety, and so many things. So we are not this mind as well, right? If I was a mind, I should have been able to control. I can't control. That's not me. Mind is something else. I have to control. Like I am controlling this body. In the same way, I have to control this mind also. Similarly, I am a soul. There's something called a soul. We have understood right now. But now there is something beyond that. Even the acharyas agreeing. We saw what science says. Then we saw what are normal sense in general, what we come to know about soul. We saw that. And now what about the authority that are given, that is in Srimad Bhagavatam? That's great acharyas like whom? Who is this?
Srila
Who is
Vedyas.
this? Yes, Vedavyas. Which of the great book he has written? Which is that great book?
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes, where the soul is described, right? Where the super soul and the soul, Krishna and his part and parcels are described, right? The Srimad Bhagavatam is speaking about the naked truth of this world, so that we can come out of this world, right? It is making us realize. I don't know how many of you are reading or read Prabhupada books, but those who read, they come to know that this Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, it is actually speaking about this world, and it is making us realize where we are in this jail. We have forgotten this world is like a jail. We have totally forgot this term that this world is jail. So it is making us realize that this world is jail and whose shelter we have to take. So Vyasdev himself confirms in Srimad Bhagavatam that this is a soul. This is a soul symptom, and this is Madhvacharya. Who is the incarnation? Who is the incarnation of Madhvacharya? Is incarnation of whom?
Bhima and Hanuman.
Yes, it's already there. So Bhima and Hanuman, right? So as Hanuman, whom did he assist?
Lord Ram.
And Bhima?
Shri Krishna and Arjuna.
Yes, Krishna. And then what about the Madhvacharya? Whom did he come to assist? Whom did he come to assist as Madhvacharya?
The impersonalist.
Assist, I'm telling, not refute. Assist. That means
Basically,
he is
the
going to help.
impersonalist.
Impersonalist. Why will he help?
He came to just guide them that the God is not, God does have a form.
No, that was Shankaracharya. He came to take away the impersonalist so that devotees will be safe. Madhvacharya came to assist Vyasdev. He came to assist Vyasdev. That's why he chose Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, right? He's a disciple of Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva is who? Krishna, right? The Shaktavesh avatar of Krishna. So Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. So Vyasa was in the advent or the beginning of Kali Yuga. But then he's still in Badrikashrama. This is not Badrikashrama which we see today in Himalayas or near Mount Everest. It's hidden Badrikashrama. It's higher Badrikashrama where Vyasadeva is still there. Normal people can't see him. So Madhvacharya especially took initiation from Vyasadeva, and he came there to assist Vyasadeva so that all the devotees of the Lord get real knowledge, because during that time all Mayavadis were there. So he came to assist. So he also spoke about Krishna and the souls, how it is related. And Ramanujacharya. Who is Ramanujacharya? Who is he? Incarnation of whom? And
Shivji.
Newton, please.
Shivji.
Huh? No. Shivji is Shankaracharya. Ramanujacharya is who?
Lord Balram.
Balram, okay. Lakshman and Anantashish. All this, Balram's incarnation, all Balram's expansion is the Lakshman in Treta Yuga, Balram in Dwapar Yuga, and also the Sheshnag when he is in the form of Narayana, Chaturshpuja form. So he came in the form of Ramanujacharya to take all the people out of Shankara philosophy, the impersonal philosophy. And who is this? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Lord Shri Krishna and Radharani combined form.
Yes, it's Lord Shri Krishna and Radharani combined form. Why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come? Anybody?
To experience
Yes,
Kirtana Yagya, and also he wanted to experience his pure and the highest devotee, what ecstasy Radharani feels in
okay.
thinking about
Yes.
Shri Krishna.
In devotional service. Very good. Yes, Nidhi Mataji, you want to add?
Mataji, same thing, and want to give the Naam Sankirtan to the Kaliyugi people.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Krishna Varnam Tusha Akrishnam Sangopangastra Parshanam Yagne Sankirtana Prayer Yajanti Hi Sumedhasa. So Krishna Varnam, he is defining Krishna. That means he is glorifying Krishna, who is Krishna himself, but in the form of a Krishna. That means who is not in the form of blackish. Who is Krishna, but not in the form of blackish. That means in the form of golden. Akrishnam. Krishna Varnam to Akrishnam Sango Pangastra Bharshadam. Sango, that means Sangha, with all his devotees, Panga and Astra. Which is the Astra of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Nama Sankirtana.
Yeah, but then there is something more which Chaitanya Charitamrita also describes. Which was the Astra of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
The Mahamantra.
No.
Sudarshan Chakra.
Chakra.
Sudarshan Chakra.
Jagai Madai wanted to.
No. Prabhupada says his Astra was his beauty. He was so beautiful. Seeing him, people used to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so beautiful, like Krishna. He is Radharani and Krishna. Whom do you think he is like a normal person? He is so beautiful. And his hands were almost near his knees when he used to stand. And so wide he was opening his hand. Dubahu Tuliya, right? 2 hands he used to raise and chant glories of Krishna. So everybody, just by seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they used to chant Hari 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 Hari. So it was so beautiful. So his Astra is the beauty. Then comes all the devotees, all the Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, right? All the devotees, the Pancha Tattva and all other devotees. So they all, and Sangopangastra Parshanam. Yagna is Sankirtana prayer. He gave the Yagna of Sankirtana. Now the Sankirtana comes. And who gave prayer? That means who started the Yagna Sankirtana. And who takes it up? Yajantihi Sumedasa. Not intelligent. Very intelligent people only take. So congratulate all the 15 people here. So congratulate yourself for being so intelligent that you took up Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. You should pat your own back. Okay, so and that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he also speaks about soul. What does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells about the soul? What is that special thing he tells? Who is a soul? What is his position?
Jiver Swarupa
Eternal
Nitya
servant.
Krishna Das.
Yes, Jivara Swarupa Nitya Krishna Das. Very good. So he tells we are jivas, we are souls, and the soul's constitutional position is the servant of Krishna, right? So that he tells. And lastly comes as the Shankaracharya, who came in the beginning after Buddhism. Buddhism was basically atheist in the sense they are not following Vedic scriptures. Buddhists were not following Vedic scriptures, and Buddhists were not believing that they are souls, or they don't want to reveal that they are souls. They say shunya, after death everything is empty. So that's not the thing. That's why Shankaracharya came to take up this Vedic shastras back from Lord Buddha. Because Buddha kept it hidden, because everybody started misusing all the philosophy of Veda. They started sacrificing for their own sense gratification. So Lord came in a hurry, I'm coming as Buddha, I'll take away all the Vedic scriptures. I don't want that to come in front of all people. Kali Yuga is manda sumanda matayo, they are manda buddhi. So they'll use all this high Vedic scriptures in a wrong way. So I'll take it up. So Buddha came and he took and he said, there is no Vedas. Everybody is, are humans, and after death there is nothing. So there is no use of sacrifice. They can't take rebirth. So you can't do any sacrifice. So ahimsa, he told. So that was ahimsa, paramo dharma, that this he told. So Buddha started. And now Buddha was thinking, Lord was thinking, now I have taken up Vedic scriptures, but I myself gave Vedescha sarver aham eva vedyo vedanta krit veda videvachaham. Krishna gave the Vedas. Now Krishna is itself taking. So there should be somebody to give the Vedas. So then Lord Shiva came into picture. In Vishnu Puran, he says, I will come in the form of Acharya in the beginning of Kali Yuga, in the after your Buddha incarnation. I'll come as Acharya, but I'll be Acharyas for those who are impersonalist, who are less intelligent. So he was not an Acharya for the very intelligent. He was an Acharya or the spiritual master for those who are less intelligent. That means impersonalist or atheist, demoniac. He says that word. I don't know correct word. I'll check it. And he says that word. For them, I'll be like a spiritual master, and I'll try to get that. Scriptures back from Buddha, so that no atheistic philosophy will come. So he brought the Shankara philosophy, brought all the Vedas back. But then there was another problem. There was no thought of devotee. Although Shankaracharya is a Vaishnavanam Yata Shambho, he is the Lord Shiva. So he could not stop, glorifying Krishna. He was like, okay, I'll teach them impersonalist. Krishna has no form. He started doing, but in the end of where he wanted to disappear, he wrote, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudhamati. He told because he told, no, I'll come for mudas or rascals or less intelligent people. I'll be spiritual master. He told so many things, demoniac people. But in the end, Shiva can't stop glorifying Krishna. So he said, I'll glorify you. And he told, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudhamate. All my less intelligent disciples, please chant the name of Krishna. Only that can save you, not your grammatical. People are behind learning Sanskrit. But he says, what is the use of learning Sanskrit when your life is limited and you'll die tomorrow? What is the use of learning? So he tells this openly. And then comes Ramanujacharya, so that he can start doing, but he is not revealing Krishna. He is revealing Chaturbuja form of Krishna. Because Krishna's form, 200 form, is more intense. And then comes Madhvacharya, who brings the Krishna, the Krishna form, in Udupi, you can come and see the Lord. He gets the two, he starts speaking about Dvaita philosophy. Shankaracharya was Advaita, that means soul and super soul are one. but then it was wrong philosophy. So Ramanujacharya came, he spoke about both the soul and the super soul are different, yet they are one. But then it was not that much clear to them. So Madhvacharya, who is it? Hanuman. Hanuman is the greatest devotee of the Lord. How can he say that the devotee and Lord is one? Master and servant cannot be one. Intention should be one, that is to serve Krishna. But they are two different living entities. So Hanumanji just smashed all the impersonalists, all these demoniac people. He just smashed with the philosophy, and he gave the Dvaita philosophy that I and the Lord are two different. I am inferior, Lord is superior. He gave that. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, who gave us Achintya Beda Abeda Tattva. And he gave the worship of Radha and Krishna, because Radharani is the greatest devotee. So that's how the parampara starts evolving. And today, the highest parampara, and we should be blessed to be in ISKCON, because ISKCON is following the Gaudiya Sampradaya, which is the topmost, and which gives the topmost knowledge about the Lord, which gives the knowledge about the special, the Madhurya Rasa of the Lord. No acharyas gave this revelation of Madhurya Rasa. Only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could give that. So in the proper way he gave, and he gave us to chant as well. So we should be very, very fortunate. The people who leave ISKCON are so unfortunate. They don't know how unfortunate they are. So that's how. So have confirmed the same truth. So everybody was speaking about the soul. Was there any way they spoke different from soul? No. Everybody spoke about the soul and the symptom of soul. That's consciousness. Nidhi Mataji, you have a question here? Any questions?
Hare Krishna
Or
Mataji.
doubts?
Mataji, just a small little doubt. How is Gaudiya Vaishnavism, that is our own sect, is different from Radha Vallabhi sect? Both follow Radha Rani, no, Mataji. Just wanted to know the difference, Mataji.
I don't know much about Radha Vallabha sect. What are they? They are basically, maybe they are the devotees of Radharani, maybe, right?
Yes, Mataji. They are also devotees of Radharani, and Vrindavan Radha Vallabhji temple is there, Mataji. So primarily it is their temple. So.
Normally in Vrindavan, if you see, most of them are there because they are the devotees of Radharani. And they tell Radhe Radhe, right? And all of that thing. But
yes,
we
Mataji.
are chanting Hare Krishna, which is more intense. So that day I was saying in the youth class that Radhe Radhe, the Radha Vallabha sect, they are there. They are trying to be the devotees of Lord Krishna by, calling Radharani. Calling Radharani, because they know if I call Radharani, Krishna will be pleased. They are indirectly going to Krishna. So once what happened, I was in Vrindavan, and night Sankirtan will happen normally in temples, not Gaudiya Vaishnava, and other temples happens in Vrindavan. So they were like Jago Radhe, something like that they were speaking. And devotees were like disciples of Prabhupada. Prabhupada, so intense. They are speaking about Radharani. See how great, not Krishna. They are speaking about Radharani. They want Radharani to come in their heart. Yeah, because they want Radharani, indirectly they want Krishna. Because Radharani is favorite of Krishna, so they are wanting Radharani so that Krishna can come towards them. But we are not like that. We are devotees of Radharani. That's why we are calling Krishna, so that Radharani can come. Because Radharani's favorite is Krishna. So when we call Krishna, Radharani comes. So we are ulta. So in that way. And second is Vipralamba Bhav.
Okay.
Vipralamba Bhav, in the sense, when you tell Hare Krishna, that means Krishna and Radharani are not together. They are in Vipralamba Bhav. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to experience the Vipralamba Prema, love in separation from Krishna. So that the love in separation is more intense than love in togetherness. Right? When you are together with your husband, you're not very much keen about him. Whatever he does, it's fine. But when he goes away from you for 1 month, 2 months, you feel like thinking more about your husband. Similarly, Krishna and Radharani, when they are together, they are happy. They're so much happy. That's so ecstasy. But when they are away, there is lot of ecstasy. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us that Vipralamba Bhava. And Prabhupada says in one of the lecture The main goal of Gaudiya Vaishnava devotees is to experience the Vipralamba Bhav of separation from Krishna. That's the highest taste in Krishna consciousness. So we are very new to this, but then Prabhupada says that. Right?
No, Mother clarified it quite very nicely, actually, in details. I was confused because they also worship Radharani and we also worship Krishna through Radharani. So I got confused that are they also a branch of Gaudiya Vaishnavism? So thank you, Mother, for clarifying.
I don't know much about them, but whatever Prabhupada has told, like, we can't go to Krishna directly, so we are taking Radharani. But then internally, we are taking Krishna's name so that Radharani will be pleased, because devotees are much greater than the Lord. So that's why.
Okay. Thank you, Mother. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
So the 11th reason, or the thing for which we tell that we are consciousness, which can prove, is this thing. Na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavitavan bhuya ajo nityam shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So Krishna is saying what here? Na jayate na mriyate va kadachin, that the soul is never birth nor death. So there is no birth or death for the soul. Having done, nor having once been, does ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever existence, undying, and primeval. He is the slain when the body is slain. He is not slain when the body is slain. So even though after the body is dead, there is the soul transfers from one body to another, right? That Krishna says already. So already know what is Bhagavad Gita. So that was just the reason. Because why is this like this? These PPTs are not directly marking Bhagavad Gita, because these PPTs were made for college students. So we can't directly go to Bhagavad Gita because management will start opposing. They are total atheists. So Prabhu could not go directly to Bhagavad Gita. So in this way, he went to Bhagavad Gita. So in this way, we are also trying to understand so that we can preach to some people. This is very helpful while you are preaching. You can't, for an atheist, you can't directly speak about Bhagavad Gita. They say, I don't believe in Bhagavad Gita or God. So what will you tell? You have to give such reasons, what this PPT is explaining. So is the brain really necessary? If you don't have brain, people say you will die. Is it true? Because we dealt with that concept, right? The center part of the brain is consciousness. So is the brain really necessary? What is your opinion about this?
Yeah, Mataji, I think it's a material element. So it's not necessary. It's a mind, it's a different, it's another form of mind only.
Okay.
So once the body, so consciousness,
in this body. This question means even when you are living in this body, is brain necessary for you?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Yes, lots of people say yes. Okay, fine. But then there was a research. This will be, when I heard this, I was like astonished to hear this. Is the brain really necessary? There was a research going on, and one of the normally, like all of us say, because we are from that background, we hear so many things. So nobody has the slightest idea how anything material to be the consciousness. They tell that the brain is the consciousness. So because they wanted to search the consciousness, they started taking the research on the brain and everything. So the astronomer Carl Sagan expressed his position. My fundamental premises about the brain is that it's working. What we can sometimes call mind are the consequence of anatomy of and physiology and nothing more. So these were the things, some things about about brain. They are trying to get consciousness hint of consciousness from brain. So normally we go there, we search. So what did he do? The professor who was searching behind this, he brought a student, he was a neurologist. So he brought one of the students to experiment on him. So when he took the X-ray of his brain, for a wonder, normally our brain should be like this. Normally, it should be like this. But for a wonder, he saw like this. It was full of water. His brain was full of water. And why did he choose that particular boy? Because he was so intelligent. He was like a normal person, only a bit little more IQ or something like that. He was a normal person. But then when he took a X-ray of his brain, he found out this. There was only water. There was only water inside that brain. He was a living, by the way. He's living. He's not dead. He's living. And he has only water inside his brain. There was no nothing right side of the brain or back side or the big side or top side. Nothing was there. Only water. So do we really need brain now? Tell me. I want to live in this world. So should I be totally dependent on the brain? It's very confusing to tell. But then it means that we really don't need anything. Only the consciousness which is making us live in this world. It is the soul which is making us live in this world, not your brain or liver or kidney. Even though there are some cases where the brain, brain tumor happens, brain failure happens, heart attack happens, still people live in this world. Still. We gave that, example of Ganeshji, where his head was took and new head, the elephant head was put. And the same example can be applied here. Because Ganeshji's head was cut and it was changed. Now you may ask, if he should have become an elephant, right? If the consciousness was in the brain, our brain was so important about our body, then what you tell? The Ganeshji should have turned into an elephant because the head was elephant and the brain was of elephants. He should have turned into an elephant. But no, he was same Ganesh, the Parvati's son Ganesh. He was same. Nothing forgot. He forgot nothing. He remembered every instance when his head was cut. He remembered that. Right? He remembered how he was protecting the home before the head was cut. He remembers. Remembrance, memory is not of brain. It's just a part where it helps in circulation of blood. Nothing is stored in the brain, so-called. So this is something new for us. It's very difficult to digest, I know, but it's something very curious. Those who want to research can research on this, but it's something curious that we learned today. So brain is not that important like what we think. It's important to live in this world. Everything God given, everything is God's given. So he has given brain for something, some or the other thing. If that's missing, then something is wrong. But then it's the not only thing which is making us survive. That's the soul which is making us survive. So scientists got a big shock, even we got it. So now you come to understand that consciousness is what which is making us live, not the brain or liver or kidney or heart. Okay. So the next thing is, does plant have soul in it? So does plant have soul, or it's just chromosomes which is making it do,
Yes,
Yeah,
Mataji.
or it's just cells? Yes. Okay. My voice is clear, na?
yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
Which
Mataji.
plant is this? I don't know. 1 second. It will change.
Mui.
Did you see the touch me not plant anywhere?
Yeah,
What is
touch me not.
what is it? Touch me not plant. What happens to it?
Yeah, it collapses once we touch it. Yeah, it folds its leaves.
But who is telling it?
No, I think it's the sense. The senses are there. So the touch senses are there. So it secludes itself.
it secures itself. That means it closes.
Yeah.
So we see animals have activities, humans have activities. They can move that, this. But there are something like touch me not plants also who can understand. We say animals have brain, they can understand. Humans have brain, they can understand. Even plants, although they tell there are two parts which are not there in brain, which are not there in plant. One is brain. They tell there's no brain in plants. That's why they are like almost dead, dead kind of unconscious thing. Yeah, it's true. It's unconscious. But then still we see that there is brain in them. Not like us, maybe. There's something else. But there is brain. They can understand. You have seen those plants immediately when the insect comes. It starts giving nectar. It starts giving all the sweetness out just to attract. And there's so many things. If you search in YouTube about the plants having consciousness, you come to know even that plants start indicating another plant in another forest about somebody's coming to that. If somewhere the forest is cut, the forest starts cutting, or some insect starts attacking to one of the forest, insect attacks, right? What happens? The leaves and everything, it starts drying up, and the insect starts eating. Immediately the trees in that particular area indicate by their roots to another trees in another side of the forest that insects might come there. So be aware. What they do, they start absorbing all their nutrients inside. The trees start absorbing. That means they don't allow that. They make their leaves dry up very quickly so that no insects come to the fragments of the leaves. So even plants have brain. They say plants don't have brain, but they have. So there's something beyond what we normally think in this world. So these are some things. So you can search in YouTube as well, but please search only the authorized one. Don't search unwanted things. So plants attract enemy to survive. So this is a book or the magazine where it is written that one plant is an enemy of another plant. Like humans, like animals, when one dog sees another dog, it starts barking or it starts yelling. One human sees another human, there is love, there's hatred, there is envy. Similarly, even plants have. Plants react to the reactions. They react, not just the touch senses or something. Normally we think that, oh, touch me not plant is just there is some cells. When they get the senses that somebody is attacking, they close. Not just that, sometimes if they want to eat something, they'll wide open, they open their mouth and sit so that the insects comes, and they close when they need. So there is more to understand about consciousness, that they are souls. Their souls. Science may tell, oh, they are growing. That's just cells. Cells are growing. That's why they are increasing or growth is happening. Then what is that making that they are indicating another tree in the another forest about the insect attacking? What about that? It is only a chemical reactions inside plant? No, there's something beyond. There's something beyond. When one plant gets some animals to eat, it indicates another plant that I'm getting, so you will also get in some time. So it also starts widely opening so that another animals is also coming. When there is another tree, this is insect attack and how smart the trees are. There is another tree, I don't remember which tree. There is certain forest in Africa which can move, which uses its roots to move from one place to another. It uses its roots to move. So something is more. It's not just trees or something. It's something more than what we really think. So you can read these things in website. I'll see if I can share these things, but you can take a screen snap of it and read it whenever you have time. Okay. So Next is near-death experience. Near-death experience. What are near-death experience? Anyone has any idea?
Mataji, can you just show me the previous slide? Just I want to take a screenshot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. None?
Hare Krishna Mataji, near death experience means that doctor declares that you are dead, you have died, but you are alive when you regain your consciousness and you experience a close shave, like somewhere in between you
Yes.
come back to life like that on operation theater. Sometimes there are cases which have been there.
Yes, those who are doctors, very expert doctors and who are expert in surgery, they have come across these things where patients experience near-death experience. They are almost declared dead, but they come back to their life. When death happens normally in hospitals, there are actually 5 vayus. First is the prana vayu, that means normally which we are breathing, oxygen and carbon dioxide, which we are breathing right, and that's called prana vayu. There's something after that. There are 4 other vayus which are making us live in this body. Okay, and after that comes is the soul. So when death happens in a hospital, they wait for half an hour, because although the heartbeat is completely gone, completely, there is no movement in the body, inside body, no cells, nothing is moving. And normally outside we see the person is dead, but still they keep for 1 hour, 2 hours the body same as it is, because there are 4 vayus. First prana vayu goes out, but it can also come back again. Okay, the living prana vayu, it goes out, it can also come back again. So doctors normally they keep the body for at least in vigilance for 30 minutes to 1 hour after the so-called death they declare, but after that they keep into vigilation for 30 to 1 hour, because they have such cases where the death has happened, but then again the soul has come back to the body. So such things. So till the 4 airs are gone out, 5 air, then the soul leaves the body. So when normally the death happens, it's not directly declared at death. There's some time after that they declare, after 1 or 2 hour, they declare that yes, death has happened, the soul has left the body. Till then they'll keep on hold the decision. So these are something people have not near death experience. So this woman, she had she had some disease in her brain. So there was a cardiac attack, arrest, and she was in a surgical an operation. And what happened, she was in the operation, and then when they operate, your function of brain, because it was a cardiac attack at arrest, and they completely make your temperature very low. When the operation happens, your temperature goes very low, and at that time your body stops working. Your body completely stops working. It is equal to death. Okay, but you're not dead. The doctors can make you alive back, but you're not considered dead. But then your brain is dead, your heart is dead, nothing is working, and operation will start at very low temperature. And then the operation is happening. But this lady, after operation is done, after she gets consciousness back, she gets up, she tells exactly what they used in her operation. Doctors were like shocked. How did you come to know what I was using? She was like, this was the instrument you used when you were cutting my skin. And this was the instrument. She started explaining. It was like a pencil, it was like a toothbrush. She started explaining, and doctors were like shocked. Your brain was dead. means you're dead. You can't do anything. You're unconscious and you're dead at that time when your temperature is very low. So no consciousness, nothing can be done. Then how did this lady see what was happening to her body when it was operated? And she told, I was sitting nearby. I was not in that body. I was sitting nearby and I was watching everybody what they are doing. There was this kind of a music which was playing, because normally during operation, because it's very stressful, if something goes wrong, the person is dead. So they keep a music which will encourage them, and the operation work is for 6 hours, 7 hours. They'll feel tired. So they keep a music behind, background music, so that they can hear and they start operating, some engagement for the mind. uh, so that lady was saying that you played this music at this time and that music at that time. Doctors were like shocked. And this surgeon, Dr. Michael Saburn, he was cardiologist. He was operating her heart, and he wrote in his book that yes, there is near death experience. Near death experience, you need not be really dead, but you're experiencing it. You're going out of your body and seeing your body. That's called near death experience. And again, the soul comes back. So that's how some scientists, they revealed about this. Okay, this is again the same thing, the story. Plunging into the pool of ice. That means that pool of ice you're thrown, that much low temperature, there will be no blood circulation happening, because they want to pump out all the blood of the heart so that they can operate. They make the blood come too low, the temperature, so that no heartbeat is happening and they can operate. And there is so many stuff going on. So what happens? It's already it's like a dead body. You are not pumping any blood. Your brain is totally dead. Almost you're gone. Only you're like a flesh, nothing much. At that moment, she said that and then she watched the doctor working on her lifeless body for a while. She was watching from her out of the body position. She observed the doctor saving her skull with what it looked like her like an electronic toothbrush. So she was explaining that it was like a toothbrush. Because she is not from medical background. So Pam, her name is like that, and heard and reported later what the nurse is operating a room had said, and exactly what was happening during the operation. She also said what was the nurse saying to the doctor when she was unconscious. She was saying some things, this should be done, that should be done. She exactly repeated what the nurse said. So at this time, every monitor attached to Pam's body was registered no life whatsoever. That means there's no life. And it happens during operation. Pam compared the feeling of re-entering her dead body to plunging into a pool of ice. So she tells, it was like she said, after this operation happened, when you are saving my body again back, I entered into a body. It was like plunging into a pool of ice. That means her body temperature was so low. Then she entered. So it was like a pool of ice for her. So that's a near-death experience, life after life. After that, this was put up. The astonishing bestseller offers the true experience of these people declaring clinically dead, describing so similar, so vivid, and so overwhelming positive, that they may change the mankind's view of life, death, and spiritual survival forever. So death means for us it's a bad thing, but there's something which really is striking. That's near death experiences. There was a doctor who also said similar thing, that there was an operation, and the lady, she was exactly saying what music was playing behind. The doctor was astonished. She could hear the music when she's clinically she's dead, but she could still understand which music was going on. That was soul which was hearing. Mind is dead. You can't tell mind was hearing. So mind is dead. Body is dead. Everything is dead. The soul was hearing. So now at least we come to know that we are souls. At least now we can't realize it, but at least theoretically, other people's experience, we come to know we are souls. So that thing. Tomorrow we'll discuss 3 more topics. I don't know how much it is. I'll just check. 15, 16, and 17, 18. Okay. Okay, these are very small things. Regression means hypnotic regression. Hypnotism, you all know, right? What is hypnotism?
You take the person to his previous memories, like whatever has been happened in his past time. You make him do a time travel to his remembrance of backward memory.
Yes, backward memory. Yes, correct. So now, normally hypnotism, today's hypnotism, or just normal hypnotism, which we see, we go backward in this life. Like what happens here is, there will be, we have seen such people, so depressed. They don't know why they're depressed, but they're so depressed. Sometimes they feel like, I want to suicide. I don't want to live. I don't want to live. But everything is so happy around them. Nothing is lamentable. But still, and sometimes they feel somebody's coming to attack them, in night, normally. Not what we get scared of night. This is extreme situation where they can't even, live in this, empty room or closed room, because they feel somebody will come to attack them. Somebody will come to attack them. So they don't know from where this is coming. But what happens normally, hypnotism, the doctor comes and he makes you sleep, and he makes you calm, and he tells that, what were you doing 5 minutes ago? And you tell them, this is what I was making. And then you tell, then the doctor tells, what were you doing 50 minutes ago? That means 1 hour ago. You'll tell exactly what you were doing. Then he starts, what were you doing one month before, 1 year before, 10 years before, 20 years before. Then he goes beyond, what were you doing 30 years before? What were you doing 40 years before? What were you doing 50 years before at that moment? And then they go back to their previous life. They can go back to their previous life, because his age might be like 14. His age might be like 40 years. So doctor says, go back to 50 years. Now, where will he go back 50 years? His age is 40, no? But then he can still go. He was like, yes, I was an old man of 90 years of age. Everybody's like shocked. 90 years of age, his age is 40. But 50 years back, he was in another body of 90 years. So doctor could understand him. He goes like, go again 60 years back. What were you doing? What made it? Actually, I was killed in an empty room of dark. People came, attacked me, and they killed me there. So I'm so scared. Then the doctor, he starts hypnotizing. Don't worry. Nobody killed you. Forget that. Forget that. Forget that. He starts, hypnotizing. And again he tells, come now. Come back. Come front of 10 years. Come back to 20 years. Come back to 30 years. Come forward, forward, forward. And he comes, come back to that 5 minutes before, what we're doing. Come back to that moment. What we are doing. What are you doing? I'm sleeping, he tells. Now wake up. He wakes up. And he's like, what are you feeling now? I'm feeling nothing. And he, for experiment, he's sent unknowingly, he's sent to a dark room. He's like, no worries for him, because he has forgotten that. So that is called hypnotic regression. That means you're going back and deleting that memory and coming back. So you can go back to previous life. And who is going that? Is the mind going? Actually, the soul goes back, because as I said, the soul keeps all the memories of your experience. It keeps recorded. So it has all the record of your previous birth. They can't go many births, like millions. Krishna can do that, but not humans. So they go back. Okay, that's called hypnotic regression. So there is a book, this book, which speaks about hypnotic regression. Okay, and then firmness. This is something, have a guts feeling that something is going to happen. That means they're like, I can feel something is going to happen. That kind of, what you tell, uh, some
Intuition, Mataji.
Gut feel.
Intuition.
intuition maybe. All such feelings starts coming to them. That is also because of their previous birth. They start
Sometimes we
experiencing.
call it sixth sense also, Mataji.
What is it?
Sixth sense also we say, na, my sixth sense is saying this is going to happen.
Sixth sense is nothing, that's mind. But then there's something beyond. That's mind is, where is that mind recollecting from? It's coming from previous life, right? So
Yes.
that's what it is said here. Next is phobia, right? Phobia, water phobia, hydrophobia. There are so many phobias. As I said, somebody can't enter into a dark room because there's a phobia. We don't know why. From small child, he is behind, like, I don't want to go to water. Hydrophobia, because he was dead. He was drowned in previous life. He was drowned in the water. Because of that, he is having now hydrophobia. And somebody is, scared of heights because he might be dead from the height. It's not what we feel frightened. It's like extreme cases. Just by seeing, they faint or they start, they start crying or something. They can't tolerate it. So that's called phobias. That is also from the previous life. And then child prodigy. That is, I've seen children's where they are like, they can speak about their special talents. I'll show some videos tomorrow about child prodigies, because these are very interesting. I have seen small children's for 5 years. They're extremely expert in some works. For this example, here in this video, there is a boy who is extremely expert in violin, and he has gone to no classes. He didn't go to any class, and no, his parents are not a violinist. They're not learning violin, or they don't know violin. But when he got a violin accidentally, he started playing it, and suddenly he became so expert that he started teaching others. So where did that knowledge come from? It's from previous birth, right? Krishna says, I am the giver of knowledge. So he gives the knowledge to the soul. He gives the remembrance to the soul. Sometimes it happens in spiritual life. I know some shlokas by heart without, once I saw, it came to my mind immediately. But some shlokas, although they're very easy, I can't pronounce them because this life I'm learning that. But those shlokas which are very easy for me, it's coming from a previous birth. So somewhere or the other, we all are connected in previous birth to spirituality, Srila Prabhupada. That's why we came back here in this life to be in association of devotees. So everything has a connection. So souls. So today we saw some 18 reasons about consciousness. We are souls. 18 reasons that we are souls. So tomorrow there are some quotations. We'll see through it and end this PPT about Bhagavad Gita and other things. And I'll also show some videos about child prodigies. Okay. So Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
It was so interesting in the evening.
Yes,
What
this
was
is
so
rather, I'm finding it very interesting, more than I would say, because we know BG now properly, so we are able to relate more to this.
Yes. Yes. Anything which you like, or which was so astonishing to you to hear about this? Anybody? Feedbacks.
This is for the first time I'm knowing that the brain is not required.
Actually, this body itself is not required, but we are simply roaming in this body.
Because all the life I'm listening, you should have a good brain. Then only you get successful.
Mataji, in one of the classes from senior devotees, I got to know that there is one Prabhuji whose both the kidneys are not functioning and still he is alive. I was surprised. He has lectures on YouTube. I am forgetting his name. Lakshmi Mataji, you might be knowing because it was in one of the Bhagavatam classes by Pran Chaitanya Prabhu is mentioned. I don't recall the name. He was telling that devotee, I was surprised. I asked him the question. So he told the devotee told to Lord Shri Krishna, if you want me to do preaching, and I am interested only doing your preaching. So if you wish, then I shall live.
So devotees are more strong, I guess. They live without. See, they are all great Vaishnavas. So
yes,
they did not need any body for such things. They come in body just to make us aware of it, so that we can relate to them. But yes, that's what a great Vaishnavas are. So these are the things which are very interesting. We should know. These things are very happy, very easy and helpful while you are preaching. While you are preaching, it's very easy. If preaching need not be like an online class with so many people, you can start preaching at your home. Start doing that. Mother, father, sister, brother, husband, wife, I learned something today. Just tell them. That's also preaching. Preaching need not be a such big thing. Okay. So I hope tomorrow there is a class continuation of this. So let's see how Bhagavad Gita and other quotations are explaining about the soul. So once we know about the soul, then it's easy to go further, right? That's why Krishna started with the soul concept than anything else, right? So yes. Okay, so everybody chants prescribed rounds, and here to Srila Prabhupada's lecture, because they are the assets, they are treasures. So start hearing about Prabhupada, and if you do these things, then I think so, as Prabhupada said, we can realize more, because we know what is soul, but we are not realized yet. Realization comes from the mercy of Krishna. Okay, so we may know so many philosophies, so many shlokas, so many things by heart, but we are still in the pool of sinful acts and all of that. What is the use? At the end of life, no shlokas will help. One of my friends, she was telling, when she was in hospital, one of delivery cases, she was in hospital, she was like, I could not remember. I'm such a, people say me a good preacher, but when I was in a hospital and there was delivery case and there was complicated situation, no philosophy, no shlokas, nothing came to my mind except the Hare Krishna mantra. So we should chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Only that can save us from the greatest situation. Trayato mahato bhayat. Okay, so chant, then you can actually understand Krishna.
Very true. It happened with me also, Mataji, when I was panicking because my daughter did not reach home on time. So I was panicking because she took an auto. So as this area is, as it is famous in the evening while returning from her class. So the only thought, the panic attack which came to me was like, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Even I did not even chant the whole Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and I was so relieved that I got a message from her that there was connected. The battery was low, so she could not connect to me.
Okay, yes. So Hare Krishna. So now there is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay.
Yes.
So please go and see. It's in the temple link. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Hare Krishna. Vansa kalpatarubhischa kripa sindhubhyev vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, everyone.